What's special about the How to Train Your Dragon franchise is the fact that it's grown up with its audience. The first was a visually stunning underdog spectacle, kind of acting as an origin story for how Toothless and Hiccup first met. When we get to the second film in this franchise, things get so much darker and stakes are drastically increased, as evident by a certain prominent character not making it to the end of this film. How to Train Your Dragon 2 isn't going to be for everyone with its more mature storytelling, but if you're into darker animation, I highly recommend watching this film. Staying on that DreamWorks train, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish for sure managed to put the Shrek franchise back on the map. The majority of the world didn't have any interest when Puss in Boots 2 was first announced. This is because the first was a mediocre, forgettable mess. With a snap of the fingers though, the three incredible directors attached to this movie managed to pull off the impossible in making a thoroughly entertaining and thought-provoking Oscar-nominated masterpiece. Usually having multiple antagonists means that none of them are given much character development. Surprisingly, this wasn't the case with Puss in Boots 2. Goldie, Jack Horner and Death all were some of DreamWorks' best antagonists, and Goldie even managed to get us sympathising with her, and we kind of even rooted for her to get the wish. I don't want to go to great lengths of gushing over how fantastic both Toy Story 2 and 3 are, as I plan on doing this in a future video, but I will briefly touch on the impact these have had on the film industry as a whole. Toy Story 2 was one of the first animated movie sequels in history to be considered superior to its predecessor. This was a game changer in the film industry, with other studios like DreamWorks feeling the need to compete with their sequels. After a handful of well-received animated sequels started popping up everywhere, Toy Story 3 eventually released in 2010 and gained an immense amount of positive feedback, making the Toy Story trilogy one of the best movie trilogies in history. There was skepticism when a fourth Toy Story was announced, but it ended up being almost as phenomenal as the first three in this incredible franchise. Let's just start this off by saying if Beyond the Spiderverse is half as good as this, then we'll be looking at one of the best animated movie trilogies of all time. Beyond the Spiderverse is argued to be one of the most beautifully animated movies in history. This should definitely be used as a case study to why animation is not just for kids. Instead, it takes great characters and storylines from the comics, translating them into which I'd argue is one of the best superhero movies out there.